Hey there. So in this video, I wanted to show how you can use Coder to do secure and compliant Codex rollouts. So OpenAI Codex is a really powerful coding agent, but it has a couple of problems. For starters, you have to either run it locally or on OpenAI's cloud, both of which poses, usability and security risks. If you run it locally, for example, you have to continuously approve every command that it wants to run, or if you run it in YOLO mode, it can essentially access all of your files and resources and do things on your behalf using your identity. And if you run it on OpenAI's cloud, for starters, this is often unacceptable in a lot of enterprises. And even if it is accepted, it's really difficult to get specific dev environments running there, especially if you have multiple repos you need to work on at once, or something more than code base that can just run all confined in a single container image. So Coder's different in that it lets you run these virtual sandbox environments, but on your own organization's infrastructure. So a platform team can set this up and build a golden template, all using their infrastructure configs and context and policies and everything kind of around creating a secure and productive developer environment that works really well with something like Codex. So what I'm doing here is I'm creating a workspace. And because I'm an admin, I have access to these three different workspace types. There's the software engineering one, which allows a software engineer to actually bring their own corporate ChatGPT account. A prototyping one, where maybe they might not have a Codex account, but it can use a centralized OpenAI service account. And I'll talk about a little bit later how you can still do things like user-specific auditing and policies with Coder on top of this, or research, doing research into an account. And, while I can see all three of these can be controlled with role-based access control and claims from something like Okta or whatnot. So this can actually be pulling in the user's identity and groups. So with that, I'll go ahead and create a workspace. And what's happening here is Coder is provisioning with Terraform a workspace on my behalf. So because it uses Terraform, it lets the administrators define any type of infrastructure. It could be a container, but it could also be a virtual machine with an S3 bucket. Really anything that you would need for a developer environment. It's also doing stuff like pre-installing Codex, setting up a firewall around Codex, and setting the system prompt, tools, and policies for Codex so that it kind of behaves the way that it should inside of your organization. So this will only take another minute or so, and then we'll be able to hop into the environment and get started and get working. So you can see here it's installing Boundary, which is our current implementation of the firewall. So with this, I could go to Codex directly from a terminal, but I'll actually use Code Server because I actually like to preview the code as it's working. And I can give it a prompt here too. And what I'm going to ask it to do is I'll actually copy a prompt from, ChatGPT. And I think a lot of people are going to be doing something like that as well, where, they may create a prompt somewhere else and that'll kind of help them, get the right output. So I'll first obviously open Codex, and you'll notice here that it's ready to go. I didn't have to do authentication. I didn't have to do trust. And you'll notice that it's in YOLO mode. And typically we wouldn't recommend using YOLO mode, but because this is running in sandbox infrastructure, we can actually run it just fine and have, the peace of mind that it's going to be doing things the right way, because it's on a Coder workspace. And, this is, again, something that we wouldn't typically recommend if you were running this on a laptop or some cloud server, but within Coder, you can kind of have it running without that approval fatigue of manually approving each step, which is error prone anyway, right? If you hit approve 100 times, you're very likely to, maybe approve something that the agent shouldn't actually be doing in the first place. So it's going to go ahead and start scaffolding this app, and we'll go ahead and wait until we get a usable result or something interesting happens. Well, cool. The first thing happened, which is because this project is configured with our own enterprise registry, we're seeing that Faker was actually rejected. And there actually, I believe, was a security vulnerability around Faker. But regardless of that, I think it's really important that agents use a set of pre-vetted packages and maybe shouldn't have access to the entire internet. So what we're doing here now is the agent's basically searching for an actually approved package. So the Stack.js one is one that I know that we've approved in our registry. And now it's able to work and be successful. So just another example of how you can kind of create these compliant environments and avoid risk, such as installing any random npm package as opposed to giving the agent access to the public internet. So, this does have a registry configured, but the other thing that's really important is we have a firewall around this too. Sometimes agents like to get creative and work around things and, maybe try to access NPM another type of way. And, in this case, it's not doing that, but if it was to have, it would have hit our firewall and not been able to do it there, and that action would have been logged. So there's a number of different ways that you can and should secure your agents. Awesome. So now that we have our agent loop finished, we can go ahead and, open up the preview URL that it's created. Coder will automatically forward it. So, because this is a remote workspace, there's, no local host, but we're able to get this nice URL, view the profiles, and get to work here. So, super neat. The other thing that I wanted to show is basically the administration side of things. So because I'm an admin, I have access to the AI Sessions tab where I can view the full agentic loop here. So it all starts with this prompt, then all of the different tool calls and commands that the agent run within the workspace. If we keep going here, you'll be able to see that the Paker package is being rejected by the registry, which is kind of neat. And, of course, all of this can be brought into a seam as well so that these things can be flagged and identified and, analyzed further. But it's, really important that we have this type of visibility in the case of an incident so that an administrator or auditor can figure out what happened and how do we further harden and secure the environment. So, with that, this is the full end-to-end flow of a developer getting into a workspace, or really any user, it doesn't have to be a software developer, getting into a workspace, being able to prototype something with a secure and compliant version of Codex, including a configuration around which registry to use, firewalls to prevent it from accessing specific networks and endpoints, and getting into an application and iterating on it. You can learn a little bit more about Coder at coder.com, and we'd love to hear from you and how you're rolling out Codex and some of the challenges you're running into.